to watch out for that flexibility. So right now, yeah, it's a tale of two drafts. Two drafts that know what they're up against. Answered so far, but in terms of like how the pieces are going to be fitting into the whole picture of the puzzle, well, that is the biggest question. So Philippines are looking at it, okay, we're going to take away that Paquito earlier, we're going to take away the Franco as well, because the Franco can mess up the entry, especially of that Claude if they want to. And now, the thing is though, there has been a good enough sample size that there are teams, if ever the pieces look good, they might just end up drafting a Leslie or maybe a Brody against that Claude. Because right now, even though it's a Kadita and an Edith, if they don't pick up the Beatrix as that safe range wave clear, the Brody and the Leslie will be able to slot in well enough and really disrupt Rakitano's play as that Claude.
Honestly, I love Leslie here. Like, if you're X-Borg, you're not gonna have a fantastic time of fighting into a Leslie because of the range and of course the true damage. Like the Firaga armor will just quickly melt. But Arcangel, very good choice here if they ever do go for the Valentina, because he can get a lot of great stuff, like the reset factor from the Decimate. You're going to be able to shred through those small HPs that are going to matter for the Edith and the Martis, but also if you are able to reposition yourself, like if he goes Flicker, he can steal the Karina and possibly set up against the Martis.
Ooh, okay, they're actually going to be hovering over a Clint here, which is interesting to me, but then when you have a dive comp, a Clint is so happy with that. It's like, yeah, I'll just have to watch out for the entry of the Claude, the X-Borg, but I mean the Kadita, the Mortis, and then the Edith are going to be messing them up already. I'll have enough space, make the most out of my little bolo dash backwards, and then the poke damage coming in from that Clint, it might get to the point where Team Philippines might not even reach that Clint, and it's going to be a swerve. It's going to be double magic for the mid-rotations.
Double down on the damage, because you know, if the problem earlier on is the lack of burst down, let's double down on Kadita and Navaria. And the one side of Navaria that we haven't been discussing yet is the vision it provides. Like early game, you shut down the game of Philippines but just by having constant vision and being able to open up the map for the Martis to be able to play, play around with. Because this hero usually just invades jungle, and he loves doing that when he has teammates that can provide the vision or just be with the Martis. But now you look at the options here for the roam roll on the side of Philippines. They're eyeing at the two, the Grok and the Joe. But I wanna focus on this Clint pick from Ukraine. I love it because the fact that you mentioned Brody earlier on. I'd always seen Clint like a more chill version of Brody. Like you still do the same amount of burst damage. You don't have the crazy torn apart memory kind of thing, but you are able to play against heroes that wants to go into you because you have that semi-stun with your second skill, and of course that small pocket of damage from the passive.
Yeah, and Team Philippines know this so well. In their last outing in a major international tournament, they showed off that Clint, and my goodness, the damage of the Clint, once it gets the 2 items locked in, and you're not respecting the damage being dealt out, you're gonna be melting really, really quickly. So it's now, I feel like, because of how the draft went, the last pick Grok, the fact that they have a Claude and an X-Borg in their lineup, and they're up against a Navaria, it's now gonna be up to Arcangel to make the most of being able to take away the Astral Echo of the Navaria. Because the Astral Echo empowers what the other heroes of Team Philippines brings to the table.
Very good composition on both sides. So let's see whoever comes out on top when it comes to execution in this game #1 match between Ukraine and Team Philippines. Already in the cutting the XP wave here for Philippines is Canon and Arcangel getting that level 2 on the Valentina. Of course, Unigo is left in the middle lane to get the level 2 on Grok as well.
Nice little rotation there. You ensure that everyone hits level 2 going into it. The Grok won't have to wait. There's a good chance that by the time you get to the turtle, the Grok is just about to hit level 4 or is already level 4 because of that.
One, Ukraine and Philippines. It is a remake match for these two teams. Nothing really happened on the first match, although XP is on top now. So that is kind of a different scenario, but the same cut happens still for Canon and Arcangel, but they will take a different green cap now, however. But Martis decided not to check the green cap.
Yeah, and it's still going to be the same rotational start as we saw earlier, so Just based off of just adjustments in the map, it's pretty much just like what happened. So everything we've talked about so far, still incredibly applicable. We're
Yep.
still
I have to say though, like Valentina not getting one green camp, that's gonna affect the level 4s on the turtle. So we have to see how Philippines plays the the last turtle wave. I mean the last wave before turtle, because Ukraine is they are able to contest that. You have a Martis, you have a Kadita, and you also have an Edith that can just walk towards the turtle area, throw the Predator away, and Sensei can just burst him down.
Yeah, that's the difference now of the EXP lane on the top side, closer to the purple buff, is that the members of Ukraine actually, mainly the Novaria Zoom, just showing himself up, was enough sign for Philippines to, let's try not to get the Scaled Lizard anymore. There's a chance we're gonna get punished. Arcangel there trying to cross that little alley, eats up some damage. He's gonna need to go back home yet again.
Very interesting dynamic on the bottom lane. Both of them have quantum charge. So the HP, they are able to regenerate some of that back every, I think 5 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, it was 5 seconds still. So, but still Clint is, getting the small victories against the Claw because he does have higher damage output versus Reketiano at the moment.
And right now, with the first turtle up, it is a very neck-and-neck contention. Arcangel, because of what he's received, hasn't hit level 4 yet. Nico just about to hit level 4. Zoom as well. He's going to be able to get it. Defender's going to be there with a knock-up. Defender
hooks
really
again.
the Primal Wrath is going to be available for him. He wants to go for it. They're not hitting the turtle just yet. They're taking their time. That's going to be the flicker in the last Insanity. Turtle goes to the side of Ukraine, but the kill onto Defender from the Philippines. Great space out though by the members of Ukraine to make sure that they get the turtle.
Yeah, it is a little bit of overextension from Defender, but I would say it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because you give out your life for extra XP that, the Martis can get. He's now sitting at level 6, while Son is still level 4. So this is the early game snowball that we talked about earlier. Although the gold lead doesn't really tell that story that much, because Ukraine is only leading by 100 gold. But still, this Martis is going to be incredibly farmed in the early stages of the game.
Extremely disciplined play actually by Ukraine. Kudos to them for how they played that first turtle fight. I think that's already a telltale sign for Team Philippines. If they weren't thinking of it yet, oh yeah, we really gotta watch out for these guys.
Oh yeah, very objective approach from Ukraine. Let's see how Philippines is going to be able to fight back in mid-game. Ooh, even the Astral Recalls, man, like contesting the grab from Saison.
Yeah.
Ukraine really does know the current landscape of this meta, which is jungle control, basically.
Yeah, you cannot give free resources. If you have the tools, make sure you try to contest it. That's going to be the Martis getting caught out, though. That's 2v1, make it 3v1, but here comes the members of Team Ukraine for the response. Already the ultimate Kadita utilized to get away. Inigo brought really low. They're going to be going after the Grok, already forcing the flicker out. The Grok will be able to get away, but with a major resource expended, Saison will not be able to get the Scale Laser. I believe he was able to, he had to commit the Retribution to secure it.
Arcangel did have the Kadita ult at that moment, but the downside of being a Valentina versus a Kadita is you don't have that Petrify.
Yeah.
So he was not able to burst down, Vladosi cutie. Wow, there's cuties in Ukraine. Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot. And I think it's the inspiration there of, it's an old naming convention from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, adding that cutie at the end of your name.
I believe Jeff
Yes,
is the
Jeff.
first to remember get that name.
Yeah, a little bit of Philippine MLBB history for you that has worldwide effects. Let's look at the items right now. The goal difference still very close. It's the Claude and that Clint. In terms of the items, already one locked in there for the Clint. And the Hep to seize. Second turtle already up. Philippines in a much better position, but I like the positioning here of Ukraine.
Ooh, the reset.
Oh, they forced it.
Very,
Wow.
very good reset from Philippines.
Yeah.
Saison was like, okay, just reset the turtle. I'm gonna take the purple buff first. I need to get XP. But Ukraine, the answer is, let's press it out.
Look at this zone out by Defender. The entry from the Kadita. All the knockup of the control in the world being tossed out by Ukraine. 2 members of Philippines getting taken out. Defender gets punished, but again, it's a sacrifice he's willing to pay. He will put himself in front of the members of Ukraine, in front of the members of the Philippines, and say, take me down. We're getting more for us right out of this.
Very systematic approach coming out from Ukraine. And also, I love the fact that they respond very quick as well. Like, Philippines, they had the right call. Like, you need to reset that turtle. But Ukraine was like, okay, you reset it, we take it.
Yeah.
And after that, Philippines, they were like, okay, guys, we need to fight this one out. There was a little bit of you know, some hesitation from Philippines, but Ukraine was like 100% committed to turn after that turtle play.
Yeah, that has to be something Philippines is looking at. So far, Defender's been rotating out of his lane willy-nilly, meaning that Defender plays such an important part for the team fighting here, because technically, he's the tank. He is the main frontliner here for Ukraine. So, if ever, they might actually try to put someone else in the opposite lane to just push a tower down there and fight the turtle, or at least try to lightly contest the turtle 5v4, because one of the members of Team Philippines is split pushing, while Ukraine, of course, are full 5-manning objectives.
Man, this is what you get from international experience, right? Like Defender, he knows that he gets countered by export, does not even care about the lane at all, fast pushes it, and you know, plays with his teammates. And he is willingly giving his life just to make sure that he does what he needs to do. And what he needs to do in this game, like you said it, he is the tank, but also the setter for this team. Even using Flicker aggressively, just make sure that he gets that pressure onto Philippines, such that Philippines have to respond to the Edith. And that alleviates the pressure away from the Kadita, the Martis, and even the Clint.
The defender of the Ukrainian dream for MLBB Global Glory. The only man with World Championship experience, now in a World Championship, 4 countries. He is putting on a hell of a performance for Ukraine. Not an impressive stat line, but that is an impressive play. Sensei making Arcangel look like a measly student, and Ukraine gets the 3rd turtle. All turtles of the game going to Ukraine. The systematic play. Wow.
And he's not done yet. The Martis, he goes for more, but they take a tower in the mid lane. Again, we talked about this earlier on. Martis with vision and the burst damage coming out from the Kadita, and the way Defender is playing this game, he is just allowing Ukraine to play what this comp is meant to do. And Philippines, they don't have the answer yet. But Inigo, however, with the wild charge,
it's not going to be able to get enough out of there. A timely flicker out there from Su, making sure he doesn't get caught. It was only the Martis taken low, but because they couldn't get to Smetana, who again, we saw how fast he can melt down the Faraga armor of an X-Borg. Yeah, he's locked in. 2 items already for him, and that is a 1,000 gold difference. At this point, yes, usually when the Claude has the Golden Staff, that's the sign. But because of the lead that Ukraine has was able to build for themselves, now this time, they shouldn't full team fight, or at least we won't feel full power Claude until the 3rd item locked in.
he needs more, man. Like, just the sheer physical damage output from this Clint. He needs like Wind of Nature, probably a you know, a Letter Jerkin, or maybe you know, some defensive item that can actually help him get inside a team fight. Because at the moment he has a lot of problems that he needs to deal with, like the Kadita, the Edith, and the physical damage from the Clint. Saison, oh my goodness, look at the damage coming out from Sensei.
Can he lock it in? Oh man, the decimation goes all the way there, and that's gonna put the Martis in a difficult position. But look at the damage coming in from Ukraine. Raw damage, yes, that's Saison, and falls down, and the other members of Team Philippines can barely hold on. Almost getting hit by the Astral Recall.
5 pixels. 5 pixels.
5 pixels at most. My goodness, Ukraine playing to the strength of their lineup, knowing that Philippines needs time, needs space, did not give it from the start of the game.
Defender again on this Edith. He is just allowing so much frontline space for Ukraine to maximize. And Philippines, still, they don't have the answers yet, because Requisiano, he's still not online. Like, the squad is still not able to fight against the composition of Ukraine.
My goodness, this Edith. And again, they think about the damage output. They don't have enough. They'll be able to damage the Edith, but once the Primal Wrath is out, they're going to have to get on out of there. And because of the, again, the Novaria Astral Echoes here by Zoom have been well-timed. Either as an initiation or like, there's times where he's using it mid-team fight just to make sure that Ukraine actually gets those kills and locks it in.
Yeah.
That the members of Team Philippines will not be able to run.
You know, it's another layer.
It's an absolute unit. The Ukrainian nightmare in tanking.
The Ukrainian unit, wow.
Yeah, the Ukrainian unit. The Ukrainian nightmare in tanking. This is what we're talking about. it'll get to the point where it's just going to be this 5 versus 4 for an objective because Mecatano and on that Claude is just pushing down. And he's going to be continuing it, and it's going to be forcing Defender back. It looks like the members of Team Philippines will they be able to read the situation? No, they will not. A good amount of damage already getting dished out onto that turret. He's not going to be able to break it, but that's what Ukraine needs to watch out for here. The macro game that the Philippines team has, but they got the Lord. That's good news for Ukraine.
Yeah, this is fantastic coming out from both teams. Like, both of them did the right thing. Ukraine did not overreact to the Cloud, while Philippines split pushed with the Cloud. Because at that moment, you had no capabilities of contesting that Lord away from Ukraine. So it was a 50-50 trade. Although, macro-wise, Ukraine does still win out when it comes to objective because they did just get the Lord. And this is a Lord that they can use to actually clear up the map, like take towers, the remaining tower in the top lane, and possibly crack the base of Philippines.
Yeah, you're going to be incredibly scrappy here around the mid as the members of Team Philippines are trying to hold that. Oh, that's going to be a lockdown onto the Kanata. A punish there. Well timed by Philippines, but the members of Ukraine are hell-bent on making sure that they get a tower here. Mid will not fall, but they still have things.
Oh,
top side goes in. A little bit too greedy, but an entry coming from the Philippines. The follow-up. Blazing duet. Only taking down Smetana, so that is a 2v1 trade. No turrets broken down just yet. Last Insanity. Valentino makes it 2-for-2, so that is even Steven saw throughout, but that is relative win for the Philippines. No towers broken just yet, but Ukraine got kills.
Dude, this is why people keep saying that when Philippines play Fredrin, it's Psycho Fredrin. Saison going outside the base. Smetana was like, wait, is this real? What? Is this real life? He got hit by the Appraiser's Wrath, and that was enough. Even though they did kill Saison, Regisiano was like, thanks for the setup.
Yeah, the follow-up. It looked too greedy for my in the initial entry, but then once he got that ultimate down, that was a sign for Regisiano to go in with the blazing duet. So it seemed like it was all part of the plan. Initially, it just looked like Saison grasping at straws, trying to make a play, but Philippines followed it up so well.
It was a very calculated play coming out from Philippines. I wonder who made the call for that, because it was crazy, honestly, but these things, if you're able to pull it off, it's gonna, it's gonna make the game turn on its table.
Yeah, look how close already the gold gap is. That used to be a bit closer to 5K, now it's getting closer to 2. But Ukraine right now, again, their positioning is so great with how they're going around the map. Zoom and Sensei now have tabs on Onigo. Philippines are backing up their Grok.
They're closing out Vision and the map control away from the Philippines. Now only X4 and Fredin is able to play on the opposite side of the map. But Ukraine, they don't really care because they're just clearing waves there. But the conceal play is going to come out from Philippines.
They're going to burst down the Edith, but the entry from Sensei, a massive combo. Blazing duet, he's holding on for
Regisiano!
The lifesteal is enough for him to hold on. Here comes the Martis from the mid lane, though. He's going to be looming around. He's not going to get any closer. Smetana goes forward with a flicker, and Zoom is here to back up. Saison and Ganon, they're going to go after. They're not going to bite the bait. So it's a 2v1 trade. Philippines are going to be happy with that, but Ukraine, they are not they're making sure that the Philippines won't win something that's just without anything. They're trading at the least.
This is how you break a order, right? You play chaotic. You break the system. Ukraine wants to fight around the objective. Let's fight before the objective. Ukraine was like, wait, is this real part 2? Is this really happening?
Oh, look at this. This will be really scrappy. Mecatano was spotted in the bottom lane with a sentry. He's now going to be going on over closer to the Lord.
20k HP.
20k HP. What's the usual reset or goal timer on 15-12k?
Yeah, 15-12k.
Yeah, around that. Vision provided massive. Astral Echo here by Zoom.
Defender trying to catch Onigo here, but it's a Grok, so it's going to be hard to do that. But Lord is going to get 8k HP right now. Conceal play from Onigo. No wild charge, however. Sensei is forced to go away. But Philippines, they're taking it slowly. They're allowing the waves to push. Both side lanes are being pushed now. They're not damaging the Lord, and they're eyeing for a good turn on the team fight.
Oh, a massive knock-up and a massive crowd control coming in from the Martins as well. And straight to the backline, Regisiano with a blazing duet. The Lord is going to go to Ukraine, but the clip falls. The Valentino falls as well for the Philippines. A double kill for the Claude. Ukraine loses 2, but they get the Lord. Will they have enough room in the map? Enough enough minions to finally break this mid lane turret, or will Ukraine be able to hold on to it? This has been a wall and a thorn in the side of the Philippines that they have not been able to break the mid turret. As we look at the items right now, you see just how close it is and how well Philippines was able to make their way into a much closer fight.
That was basically a Lord gamble by Philippines. Ukraine still was able to take it away from PH, but they did just take down Clint at that moment. So they're not going to be able to utilize this Lord for the base push. So I would say in the long run, PH took that W.
All right, a win for the W, but can they get more out of it? Gray's still comfortable with their fighting.
Too deep for the Mortis.
Too deep. Oh, Zoom with all the info in the world. Look at the Kadita on the map. He is in perfect gank position if he can find the target. The Philippines are wary. So it's on Sensei. That is going to be a reset. We might be down to a big 5v5 for the next Lord.
That was a little scary, honestly.
Yeah, it was for Vlad Security.
There were only 2 heroes right there. If Nico had collected the information beforehand, we would have made a call to just, use Wild Charge against Amartis. If the Navaria shows, he dies to Regiciano.
Yeah.
But
head into the action. Have to watch out for him. When at every skirmish or every little team fight that breaks out, you have to watch out for the gank options of the cutter.
This game is so close, man. Like 9-9 kill score. Both teams, the goal difference is just 100.
Yeah. It's just a trade of like who's
Philippines!
Oh, that's gonna be all the vision in the world. Vladosik coming up from the back, but because of all the vision provided, Philippines said, yeah, no, we cannot.
Talk about crazy players, like 5-man conceal, going to that spot. Martis was like, hey, I'm also doing my own crazy thing. I'm making a sandwich play. But again, they both react very, very nicely, and we go back to reset. It's all about positioning and vision right now, which is why still Ukraine is in a much better position because of the ultimate coming out from the Navaria.
A high IQ match is what we're getting for this game number 1. The undefeated 2 qualifier years in a row. They did not drop a single game. Ukraine going into this, going up against the titans of MLBB Esports and Team Philippines, and they are giving Team Philippines a run for their money after a difficult early to mid. Team PH was able to find a way to keep it this close now.
Yep.
This could be anyone's game. It boils down to the little things.
Do take note, Philippines, they're not experimenting. These are very countable heroes for them. These are signature picks.
Yes.
From the players on the side of Philippines. So Ukraine is really holding their right in front of these esports giants in the form of Seaball. Now we're gonna see a lore dance between both teams. Canon and Saison is already in position. Regiciano, however, is setting up for a split push.
Yeah, coverage there onto the bottom lane. And as these two teams hold us at the edge of our seats, we can only but wait. Oh, the tension is
all about map. And when you look at the players, it's all about the nuanced movements. And speaking about nuanced movements, Philippines just found a kill on the Clint.
That wasn't nuance. That was massive. Philippines have painted themselves a good-looking picture into success. Sensei, do they know the Kadita is there? Unigo showed himself, and now Philippines still close, but they can still go. The Sensei goes out a little bit too early. A retry battle, one for the ages, won by the Martis. But the Martis will get punished in turn. Unigo is zoning out Zoom and Defender. The Martis still alive, holding on for dear life, holding on with every last inch of health he has left. Can he somehow outplay 2 members of Team Philippines chasing him as you see it on the map? We talked about the game, we talked about the map, and we talked about this Martis getting taken out. But the buy time was massive. There's a Lord marching in the bot, and all the Philippines could get out of that was 3 kills and only 1 measly turret in mid.
Yep, they cannot even take objectives at the moment. Now Regiciano has to deal with that Lord while Ukraine resets. Although they don't have the Martis for 30, it's good right now because, again, it's complete reset between these 2 teams. We have to wait for round 3.
Round 3. Vladosi QC being able to buy time, survive long enough.
One charge!
Hell already has the ultimate of the Edens, but that's going to be defended with a full stack primal wrap and knock up, and the damage is going to be enough to take him down, but that's only the immortality. Already popped, Defender can only hold on, and he gets taken out.
This is the crazy stuff that we were looking for earlier on. Ukraine might have been eyeing for a reset. Philippines was like, hell no, you don't have Martis. We're gonna fight now.
A brilliant maneuver by Arcangel. He got the Primal Wrath, got out of the mech, but he knows it's barely gonna do anything. He doesn't have the Primal Wrath meter. So you can actually quickly go back to mech form while still having it, and then he uses it for the knockout.
Saison?
Saison gets a lot of damage from Sensei though. A good pick on Nico with the flicker wild charge. My, oh my, what an absolute dream. Double kill there for the Claude, and just like that, you talked about crazy maneuvers. That is a crazy play by Unico.
This is late game dominance by Philippines, having that control, not allowing Ukraine to get a respawn in as they take game number 1 away from Ukraine.
Oh, what an absolute